Greetings ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here, welcome back to the channel. Another year and another E3 has come and gone. Yes, I'm doing something a little different for a change. When I'm not in MMORPG review mode, I do play other games, and I started this channel reviewing non-MMO games. Like many of you, I browsed through this year's E3 announcements and watched all the gameplay trailers and exclusives that were revealed this past week. So I'm sharing a few that I'm most looking forward to. Before I begin, what are the games that you are most looking forward to? Share them in the comments below. First up for me is State of Decay 2. I played the crap out of the first game because I love the game's design, the setting, everything really. I mean, the characters you play as in this zombie-rific world are so fragile, with choices defining whether you'll live or die, and every bullet of every gun counts. It was an incredibly tense gaming experience for me, which is something I do enjoy. So to hear that the sequel is going to be bigger in scale, better, and most importantly coming with online co-op for up to 4 players, consider me sold. I didn't find too much fault in the first game, except the occasional bugs and glitches. But the other thing I really do hope they improve on is the overall graphics and animations. From the E3 trailer, it doesn't seem like they've done a whole lot in that department, but I hope the time they've got from now until release will allow them to, in the very least, make it a lot more presentable than the first game was. Up next, I've gone for EA's A Way Out. This game intrigues me. Firstly, the premise. From the reveal trailer, I like the fact that this is a pretty intricate prison break game. I haven't seen too many of those around that's AAA, so this is pretty exciting, considering it's got a narrative with choices, on top of all the things you'd expect from an action-adventure game. Secondly, this is a compulsory co-op game, requiring a second player either via local, online, or split screen. I think it's fantastic because of what the gameplay offers. There's 2 protagonists, both breaking out of prison, so there is a need to cooperate and coordinate with your gaming partner. I can already think of a couple of friends that I want to drag along for the ride, and this will be an awesome game to stream. Mark my words. My next pick is Middleearth Shadow of War. Surprise, surprise. And while the announcement was some time ago, we got to see a lot more about the sequel at E3, which has sort of changed my mind a little bit about the game. Now, while I'm usually pretty biased about Lord of the Rings stuff, I'm kinda on the fence about Warner Bros.' Middle-earth franchise. With Shadow of Mordor, the first game, I, like many, found the Nemesis system a breath of fresh air, but the rest of the game for me was just flattery. That buttery combat system, which started off as exciting and fun with many ways to kill orcs, became boring for me once you've gained all the cool skills, and really, it got really repetitive. The story too, cheesy, and Tolkien must be rolling in his grave. With the sequel, I just want to see how much the Nemesis system is improved upon, now that it's said to be more personalized, and I like that you can't repeat failed missions. If you flunked it, it's over, and you'll have to live with it. Finally, the allure of seeing a deeper part of the Mordor region in the latest graphics, in contrast to what Mordor will be in the Lord of the Rings Online later this year, is also a big factor. And onward to the next pick. I gotta admit, Ubisoft's Skull and Bones is the pirate naval battle game I never knew I was interested in. A lot of people are raving about Assassin's Creed Black Flag and how that played a big part in the design of this game, and I never played that. So the reveal trailer showing off the various different pirate ship classes and how you gotta work together to bring down opponents, grab the loot and run was really interesting to watch. My only concerns about this is that it looks like it's gonna be a primarily PvP game, with no single player campaign or story mode with co-op. If they include that, then that for me is the ideal pirate simulator. I'd also like to see the gameplay beefed up a lot more. Maybe be able to do stuff on land, customize your captain, hand-to-hand combat, and more. But if it remains as just PvP, then I get the feeling that it's going down the same path as For Honor did. And my final pick is the one I'm most excited for, XCOM 2's latest DLC, War of the Chosen. I am a huge fan of the current gen XCOMs, and the first review I put out on this channel was in fact for XCOM 2, which was my game of the year for 2016. The new DLC adds 3 new chosen enemies that hunts you down, Commander, and will grow stronger as the campaign progresses. To balance things out, however, there are 3 new resistance factions that you can recruit new members from, with new classes and weapons included, to fight alongside your XCOM squad. As usual, there's also a good bit of new story that adds on to the main campaign narrative, and unlike the past DLCs, this one looks like it has a lot more story cutscenes, which was sorely needed. For me, this is great news that it adds a lot more content to the main campaign. I mean, its replay value is already so high thanks to the past DLCs on top of Steam Workshop mods, so I can totally see myself losing sleep over this again. Maybe, just maybe, I should start an Iron Man stream. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. As for honorable mentions, man, there's so many. Lots of good stuff. Let's see. Destiny 2 coming to the PC, for example. I'm tempted to try it out. And of course, the other big one is Skyrim VR. I mean, come on. If there was ever one fantasy game that you wanted to play in virtual reality, it had to be Skyrim. Sadly, I do not own a VR set. It's incredibly expensive to get in my part of the world, so I can only drool and watch from afar. Someday. So those are my picks from E3 this year, the games I'm most anticipating checking out at release. What about you, dear viewer? What are your favorite announcements from this year's E3? PC, consoles, doesn't matter. List them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoy the content and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, my name is Jerome Adrian and I thank you for watching.
Oh, bloody hell, it's you again. Well, don't just stand there. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click the button in the middle. If you want to watch more videos, click the cards to the left or to the right. Now bugger off and go bother somebody else.